Alright, EV fans and EV haters, I know there's a few of you on here who like to torment yourselves by watching electric car review channels. Here is a brand that you've probably never heard of, just casually launching an electric SUV into the UK market like it's no big deal. Meet the Changan Deepal S07, or as I like to call it, the who is this then of the EV world. But stick with me, because this thing might just surprise you. This is Changang's first UK launch under the Deepal brand, and they're not easing in gently. The S07 is a slick-looking, tech-stuffed electric SUV with a price tag of just under £40,000. No luxury car tax here. Looks wise. It's like someone smooshed together a Tesla Model Y with a Cupra Tavascan and maybe a Lamborghini Urus. That will be the Italian styling cues. It's designed in Turin, darling. Like all Chinese Tesla rivals seemingly, the S07 has a full-width light bar, panoramic sunroof with electric sunshade and flush electric door handles and frameless doors, which, although look cool, are actually a pain in the arse when it's cold, as it's another thing to defrost. It's available with either 19-inch or 20-inch wheels and in a choice of 5 exterior colours. To sum up, it's yet another 5-seater with a sporty fastback roofline and SUV proportions. One of the designers mentioned that the lighting was inspired by constellations and that the crystal light sculpting helps to make the Deepal S07 stand out from its rivals. So in a way, you could say the brand is illuminating the way to the future. Bad joke, I know. What a tagline. Better than the slogan from the car's launch, fun should be easy. Step inside and you're hit with the kind of tech overload we've come to expect from Chinese EVs. There's a 15.6-inch touchscreen, more on that later, 14-speaker sound system, including a headrest speaker for the driver, ambient lighting, and a voice assistant that is incredibly annoying and a little bit useless. Let's look at the infotainment. So I've Googled how to tilt the screen in a Deepal S07 because I couldn't find it myself, and this is how we do it. So access a shortcut menu by swiping left on the main screen. Okay, here we go. This is the sunflower screen in action, so called because, like the flower, it tilts its head to the sun. Just like this, can tilt its screen, not head, to the passenger or to the driver or to the centre. What else can we do on this menu? Well, we can turn off distraction warning, lane departure assist, speeding alert. Oh, my life's already got better. Now, what I will say is that the graphics, as you can see, are amazing and it is incredibly responsive, but it does seem so unintuitive to use. I mean, I shouldn't have to Google how to get to shortcuts. I guess once you've lived with it for a while, it gets easier, but it's not easy to use on the move, that's for sure. So rather much like your smartphone, you can adjust the icons and apps in your driver profile. And as we've just discovered, there is a shortcut key. Like the Tesla, there's a lot of interactive fun to be had on the screen, including a selfie mode, which we access via camera. And by doing this, photo taken by hand gesture. You can also hand gesture to make a call. Obviously, I'm not doing the right hand gesture. Okay, failed on that. Anyway, there's seasonal modes. See if we can find that. Here we go, bonfire. throw another log on there. That's pretty much all it does. Oh, there is snow mode, which we were told would allow you to build a snowman, but it seems all you can do is move the sleighs back and forth. Great. Oh yeah, like the Tesla, it's got a lighting show. For those of you who don't know what that is, it basically will flash exterior lights in rhythm with music and make you look like a total bellend. Everything is wrapped in vegan leather, apart from the lower door trims, which are scratchy plastic. But overall, it feels and looks pretty decent. And there's a choice of white, black and orange. Annoyingly, physical buttons are sparse and I hate having to rely on the touch screen for so many controls. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto naturally wirelessly, because wires are so 2020, darling, and actually a cooling vent to prevent your phone from overheating. A heads-up display with augmented reality replaces a traditional instrument cluster, so if you like your vitals projected straight onto your windscreen, you'll be a very happy bunny. What might not make you a happy bunny is the fact that the information is often so inconsistent with what is actually on the road, for example, speed limits. It also doesn't always correlate with the sat-nav on the screen in terms of which lane to take. Rear space is pretty good, with the flat floor providing generous legroom and decent headroom despite that sloping roofline. The only thing it seems to impede upon is rear visibility, but there's plenty of cameras around the car to help you with that. There's plenty of storage dotted around the cabin as well, although the cup holders are smaller than I'd like, minor complaint. Wow, that is some welcoming chime. Right, so pretty much like a Tesla, there's a stalk here to the right and it's reverse up, drive down, double tap for autonomous level 2 driving, and indicator stalk here, windscreen wiper here, camera here, and then I'm guessing here various buttons for the multimedia system. Right, so I've programmed it to go to Ragley Hall, which is our next destination. I've turned the audio off because just in the 20-minute drive here, it was so infuriatingly frequent with navigation instructions that it is just annoying. Okay, so under the skin, it's rear-wheel drive with a 218 horsepower motor and 236 pound-foot of torque, which means it will do.
Turn right to Cardigan Street.
Obviously, I haven't turned off the audio. Under the skin, it's rear-wheel drive with 218 horsepower and 236 pound-foot of torque, propelling this car from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds, which isn't which isn't blisteringly quick.
Take the second exit.
But then we've become quite spoiled with the performance of EVs, and let's face it, it'll keep up with most diesel SUVs. Range is pretty average with 295.
School zone ahead.
Thanks.
In 500 yards, enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
What are those constant chimes for? They remind me of when you collect coins in an 80s video console game.
In 300 yards, enter the roundabout and take the second exit to A4540.
Range is average with a claimed 295 miles, but I would have liked to have seen quicker charging times, with 30 to 80% taking 35 minutes. The Changan R&D facility is based in Birmingham, so the suspension has actually been retuned and recalibrated for UK roads. It uses McPherson front and multi-link independent rear suspension, and it soaks up uneven roads really pretty well.
In 300 yards, keep left to Lincoln Street. You are over the speed limit.
I'm not though. So this is the other thing this car does. It says I'm in 1 speed limit on my augmented heads up, which is 40, yet it's saying I'm over the speed limit. And now it's chiming at me again. When pushing on, the ride can become quite unsettled, and there's a degree of body roll when taking tighter corners, but it is a big, heavy car. Grip from the tyres could be better, and the rear wheels will scrabble under throttle in wet conditions. Steering is okay, but a bit aloof in terms of feedback. Sport mode does add a bit more weight, but it doesn't significantly improve feel. There's no one pedal driving, and regen behaviour is inconsistent, and the transition to friction brakes isn't always intuitive and sometimes quite slow. Generally speaking, it's composed and comfortable when driving around town or on the motorway, being quiet, relatively smooth and with enough performance when demanded, but it is less suited to sporty driving or drivers who want sharp steering feedback and ultra fast regen. And while the suite of driver assistance systems are good on paper, they're far too sensitive, and the frequent chimes for seemingly small or innocuous actions, as you've already witnessed, are quite frankly dangerous and incredibly annoying. Hopefully software refinements will improve this. And before you ask, yep, it's safe. It's got a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, plus all the usual driver aids. Adaptive cruise, lane keeping, auto emergency braking, blind spot alerts, a 360-degree camera, hill descent control, basically everything short of a self-driving butler. It's even got vehicle to load power output. And for you weekend warriors, there's a retractable tow bar that will pull 1,500 kilograms, so bikes, trailer or a small caravan, world is your oyster. Open the powered tailgate via the Bluetooth key, because apparently it's much harder to clone. Wait for an absolute age to the annoying sound of chimes again, to reveal 445 litres, which is pretty decent. In fact, the PR guy reckons you could get 3 bodies in here. There is also a frunk with a vast 125 litres, which when they showed the promo video of it at Carfest, had 3 children in it. It seems like Changan like putting people in storage areas. And don't go thinking that because Changan is an unknown name in the UK, there won't be any customer support. The brand has launched with 20 UK dealerships and plans to hit 50 by the end of this year. As well as a UK-based R&D team, there's also a parts warehouse. So Changan reckon you won't be waiting 3 months for a door mirror if someone taps you in a Tesco car park. Other supermarkets are available. And all of this for £39,990. Pretty good, right? That's for one fully loaded trim, no confusing options list, and you get a 7-year car warranty and 8 years for the battery. But the problem is, I would like to see more powertrain and battery options. For drivers who value tech features, premium touches, rear-wheel drive and ride comfort, Deepal S07 seems to offer a lot of value. But the charging speed will likely be a sticking point, as well as the heavy reliance on touchscreen controls. It's a UK debut brand, so service and support is less proven. And I wonder, for example, how it will compare with Tesla's continuous over-the-air updates. But for those of you who have owned a Tesla, the after-sales surely can't be any worse. There's also resale risk to consider. The thing is, there are other Chinese newcomers such as Leapmotor and Xpeng, not to mention more established ones like BYD and MG. And then there are the big European players like Tesla, Hyundai and Skoda. So taking all that into consideration, I'm not sure the Deepal S07 is set to be the next big thing. It's not entirely perfect. The badge doesn't exactly scream prestige, and there'll be some trust building needed for buyers who've never heard of Changan. But underneath the badge is a seriously well-specced, good-looking electric SUV for 40k. And if you're bored of the usual suspects, or you want to stand out without compromising on most things, the Deepal S07 is worth a look. Let us know in the comments, would you take a chance on this Chinese newcomer? Or are you sticking with safer, more familiar brands? Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. No doubt possibly driving something else with a name no one can pronounce. Hopefully it'll be less windy.